So am I doing this one now?
Harry and...
I want to be hairier, yes.
Okay, so y'all, this is the song that we're going to be talking about a little bit. What did you decide it was?
It's Win, Lose, or Drown.
Win, Lose, or Drown. That's right. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, one of Pat's happy songs that he mentioned earlier.
Keep it upbeat.
So if you weren't paying attention before, listen to this one, and we'll be talking about it. All right, Pat, take it away.
Talk about it afterwards. I'll just sing it now, will I?
Yeah, just sing it. Yeah, that's fine. Don't give them any hints. They gotta figure it out.
There will be a questionnaire after this, so... I tie my shoes, listen to the morning news. I wonder if I'm gonna win or lose or drown today. The bills are stacked. It feels like I could have a heart attack. How am I ever gonna pull this back together? Look at him. He's living out his every dream. He's peaceful like a flowing stream in the morning. Yeah, he's got it all worked out. Makes me wonder what it's all about. Am I ever gonna stand up proud and tall again? How did it ever come to this? Every dream's a counterfeit. Every single swing's a miss, and I can't look me in the eye. I'm falling like a cannonball. I'm gonna lose it all. I keep staring at the ground when the writing's on the wall. God made man. Oh, what an evil plan. Made me a player in a game that's damned to failure. And so I close my eyes. I try to escape the noise. Try to think about a better life worth chasing. How did it ever come to this? Every dream's a counterfeit. Every single swing's a miss, and I can't look me in the eye. I'm falling like a cannonball. I'm gonna lose it all. I keep staring at the ground when the writing's on the wall. So I tie my shoes, I listen to the morning news. I wonder if I'm gonna win or lose or drown today. Thank you.
Wow.
Why don't y'all give it up one more time for Chris and Pat?
We're taking a break?
We'll come back up a bit.
There's joy in the sorrow, Pat, on that song. Yes, there is. You know, one of the great things about... Is it starting to rain out there a little bit? No? Are we good? Just a tad. I'm sorry about that. I can't help that. As you're listening to this story, though, we're receiving it, and I think this is like probably one of the more vulnerable things about what artists do is when they are putting out their song, their story, they don't get to kind of control it after that. And so in a way, we're all sort of practicing giving a gift and receiving those gifts. And what I'm about to tell you is a story that kind of popped in my head as I was listening to that song. I didn't quite know which song I was going to choose of Pat's. They're all good. I can hype you up, too, on that if you would like. But this one just sort of stuck with me, and so this is what kind of came to my mind. And if you want to listen, I've included some guiding questions in the program that you can look at. Those are the same questions I kind of ask myself when I listen to music or a story, and it just kind of helps me process and internalize what I'm receiving. But when I was younger, my grandfather used to take me to the ranch. Now, on the way to the ranch, there's a bunch of winding dirt roads. And dirt roads, because of this, mean a lot of different things because of those drives. Dirt roads mean that seat belts can come off, right? Dirt roads mean that the windows can come down, that the wind can now hit your face. Dirt roads, more than anything, though, meant that I, beginning at the ages, between the ages of 10 and 12, took the driver's seat. Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about? That's right. Grandpa rode shotgun, and I got behind the wheel. And had you told me then that there was any more to life, I wouldn't have believed you, right? There was nothing greater than sitting behind the wheel with Grandpa riding shotgun, riding down those old dirt roads. But sometimes dirt roads can take on a life of their own. Depending on the locals, the oil companies, the truckers that belong to the oil companies, the weather, all sorts of holes begin to form upon their surfaces. And for me, it was a game at first. And when Grandma was with us, I won't lie, there was some intentional running into potholes here and there. And I'd wait for the inevitable, ay, Mateo, mucho cuidado, which basically is my name in Spanish, and be very careful. And then she would say something like, are you stupid? What's wrong with you? And she would say that part in English because she knew I would understand that. Mostly the game was about how smoothly you could make the transition from pothole to pothole. And if y'all want to take some time to move in, yeah, I know it's starting to rain a little bit better. And I'll see if I can poke my head out from the corner here. Yeah, the game was about how smoothly I could make my way from pothole to pothole, or how effortlessly I could make the pickup truck roll on by. But inevitably, I would become fixated with the brokenness on the road. I became fixated in such a way that I would avoid many of the small potholes, only to slam into the big ones. And then I'd spend the next few minutes swerving and bumping along unnecessarily. So my grandpa was patient. He was probably the most patient man that had ever lived. And I suppose because he feared for his life that he decided to help me out one day. And he said, Matthew, keep your eyes focused as far as you can see. Don't focus so closely on the road right in front of you. So I've always interpreted this advice to mean that you shouldn't get too fixated on the things in front of you, because they are quickly passing and the road ahead is quickly coming. And in many ways, my interactions with my grandparents represented two different conceptions that I had about how God was with us. See, as it was with my grandmother, I was overly sensitive to her anger and to her judgment. As those tires came into the pothole, that particular pothole, the game would end, and I tried my best never to make another mistake in front of her. And consequently, I ended up making a bigger mess, swerving from this way to that, trying to not make a mistake. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying that my grandma was not a good representation of God and that my grandfather was a perfect representation of God. I mean, the real problem was me. What the hell was I doing, making a game out of dodging potholes or not? In any case, I'm sure that my grandmother's anger and judgment was a direct result of her fearing for her life and that I was going to kill them all. And I'm quite positive that my grandpa's patience actually came from that fear as well. You see, Grandpa and Grandma, they just, in their own unique ways, wanted to tell me to keep driving. And they both knew that road like the back of their hands. They knew all the twists, they knew all the holes, they knew all the turns. And they in no way expected me to not feel the effects of the road. I put that pressure on myself. So what I've discovered is you can't escape disappointment, failure, or loss. That's the one thing I know. But I've also begun to realize that God is not about me trying to create the presentation that I'm living. God is actually concerned that I'm actually living. God is not about the life of a spectator. God is not interested in the arrogance of perfection, a false perfection, or a self-righteous posturing. If anything, this is what Jesus' life actually conveys to me or teaches me, that the God of all things, of all people, of all places, came down into our world, experienced the bumps, the potholes, the turns, not so that we didn't have to, but that so we wouldn't become fixated on them. So that we would know that God is in that pickup truck with us, so that God could keep reminding us to keep driving. Keep your eyes focused as far as you can see. For me, the Christian faith has never been about avoiding hardship or bypassing despair or winning the race. Faith for me is the courage to keep your eyes focused as far as you can see, not at the exclusion or deflection of the harder things in life, but toward the hope of a new possibility. And I think that's how hope forms in us. So we hope, because we believe that God is in that pickup with us. So we keep driving. And we keep the faith because we believe that God desires us to have life. And we love because God first loved us, coming into our mess and experiencing all those potholes and turns firsthand. So keep your eyes focused as far as you can see. Keep driving. In faith and hope and love, we are never reduced to or defined by the potholes that we hit, the turns that we take too fast, the accidents that we have. Even if for a time we tend to hit the same potholes over and over and over again. Pat, you don't know anything about that? No, me neither. But keep your eyes focused as far as you can see. Keep driving. There is grace available to us on this journey. Confront the brokenness and let the light reach you through those cracks. Just keep your eyes focused as far as you can see. Keep driving.